So what's happening, guys? Back with another supplement review. This is David with Mission Muscle. I just finished a pool day, and it was a good weight training session. Still sweating, so this is the color. Do I even have the color left originally of my shirt? This is supposed to be a light gray. There it is right there. So it was a nice workout. I took this pre-workout. I'm going to review for you guys 3 days. I took it on a push day. I took it on a cardio legs and core day, because I wanted to see how it did on cardio as well for you guys, and also on a pull day today. And this is from Panda Supps. They sent me their brand new pre-workout. I really appreciate them. It is Pandemic Extreme Pre-Workout. And like always, they got some bitchin' labels there. That's a phoenix in the background there. A fiery phoenix with that crazy panda there. And this says it on the side there, Pandemic Extreme Pre-Workout. This is the limited edition Phoenix flavor. And what the Phoenix flavor is it's an orange. And the flavor gods came down and zapped this with some real goodness. I really enjoyed the flavor on this, because very seldom do I run into orange flavored, really good orange flavored pre-workouts. It's all these crazy flavors now, blueberry lemonade and stuff like that. But this orange, it just really hit the spot. Very, very good. You're not going to have any problems with the flavor here. Now this is a 1 scoop, 2 scoop dose. It's a 42, 21 servings. And just so you guys know, it's a 1 scoop supposed to be 9.75, 2 scoops supposed to be 19.5 grams. And we're going to go off of the 2 scoops here as far as the effects. So I'm going to give you guys the effects. I ran this on 2 scoops. So just so you guys know. And you need a scale on this pretty much. If you do 2 flat level packed scoops, you're going to be about a gram under. So each flat level packed scoop is about a half a gram under. So to get the exact, you need to actually take out your food scale and actually put it on the scale for you. But you're going to be really, really close at that 2 flat pack level scoops. And sometimes I think it has to do with the powders. Some of them being thicker than others, some of them being thinner than others. But very, very close. I'm going to give it to them. It's very, very close. So we're going to get into the ingredient profile, and then we're going to get into the effects on this thing, because that's what you guys need to hear about, the effects on this, because that's going to determine, if this is something you can utilize in your training, or something you want to try. If you're like me, I just love to figure out, I love to run these for the effects. I like the way these guys, these mad scientists out there kind of manipulate these pre-workouts to affect us during our training, to either help us or hurt us. And I'll let you guys know the deal on this one here. So right on the top here we have L-Citrulline Malate 2-to-1 at 2 scoops. It is 10 grams. So they're giving us about 6 grams of L-Citrulline. The rest is going to be that malic acid. So the citrulline, I've said in his other videos, is going to help with vasodilation, blood flow, oxygen delivery, nutrient delivery. And the malic acid that's left over is going to be utilized as you start training for endurance purposes, because it transfers over into ATP. Then we got beta-alanine at 3.2 grams. This is for more sets, more reps in the gym, less fatigue. It's going to give you the pins and needles, itching, scratching, whatever you may get. Betaine anhydrous, 2.5 grams. That is going to give us cell swelling, power output, liver enzyme health, homeostasis as far as balancing of the body, recovery benefits. Very good ingredient. Then we got L-tyrosine at 750 milligrams. This is an adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine enhancer, and on some dosages will help with a little metabolic spike dealing with the thyroid. Then we got alpha GPC, 400 milligrams. I like to see 6, but when you're trying to put a pre-workout together, it's efficacious. Dosages don't matter sometimes, because you got so many ingredients in here. So this is going to help with cognitive function and focus by increasing acetylcholine in the body for muscle contractions. And at certain levels, it's been studied. It's usually at the 600 milligram dose from the studies that I read. It will increase growth hormone levels. Caffeine anhydrous, 350 milligrams daily driver there. And that's all the caffeine we have in here, 350 milligrams. But we got some other hitters. We got VasoDrive-AP, 254 milligrams. This is the efficacious dose of VasoDrive-AP. This is a casein peptide combination. It's actually 2 peptides, amyl peptides, that are derived from 3 peptides from casein protein, which is isoleucine, proline, and valine. And it's been shown to release in endothelial tissue in the blood vessels to expand the blood vessels, also allowing flexibility in the blood vessels for kind of health purposes in a way. Then we got L-theanine at 150 milligrams. You either hate it or you love it. L-theanine is a dialed down ingredient. So a lot of people are affected by L-theanine, even me at certain dosages if it's not stemmed. And for me, L-theanine will increase GABA, it increases dopamine, increases serotonin, or manipulates them. So it's supposed to give you kind of a calming effect in the brain. It's supposed to help with cognitive function and focus when combined with caffeine. And it also is a dialed down, an anti-energetic ingredient for the brain. So it takes the energetic feeling from stim pre-workouts out of the brain by increasing alpha brain waves. That's our calming and relaxing effect that helps you sleep and get into REM sleep and all that stuff. Now, I'm affected by it because of that alpha brain wave increase. So what it does is it dials my brain down at certain dosage. I'll let you guys know how I got hit on this. And I'm not super sensitive because I can take it. But at some pre-workouts, I'm just like, I ain't taking this again, because it's even the delivery as far as the way you come off it. But if this hits right, you will dial down off of it well, and you will have just normal good energy for the rest of the day. Then we got dendrobium at 100 milligrams. This is a central nervous system stimulant that has mood elevating effects and concentration effects similar to PEA. It's a good dose. Then we got AstraGin at 50 milligrams. This is for the digestion of everything. Then we got synephrine at 50 milligrams. And I'm going to hop over the next one into isopropolynorepinephrine at 20 milligrams, because they're kind of basically the same thing. Now, these are beta receptor agonists. In the fat cells, they manipulate the beta receptors to release lipids and fatty acids to be used as energy, and these two ingredients also increase energy expenditure. So it's going to get like a little kind of fat burning effect on here, and the isosynephrine is a lot stronger than the synephrine itself. Then in between those, we have the methyltyramine, HCl, at 35 milligrams. This ingredient increases the release of insulin in the body. So type 1 diabetics, this is not a big dose. So, of course, we don't release insulin. So, in turn, when it's releasing insulin, it's kind of like releasing glucose too. So, you may get a little bit of a glucose spike if you're a diabetic. But I noticed it wasn't too bad for me. This also manipulates the alpha receptors in the fat cells to, again, just like synephrine, it's got alpha and beta receptors, and this manipulates the alpha receptors to release fat, in turn spiking adrenaline and dopamine and serotonin for some kind of cognitive effects and concentration as well. That's about it on there. So Panda Supps Pandemic Extreme Pre-Workout, how did it do? So you first take the scoop. Beta-alanine comes in 10 minutes. So for me, each time I took this, beta-alanine came in about 10 minutes. And it wasn't like super itchy, scratchy pins and needles each time, but you feel it. So it's kind of like, it depends. I guess it depends on how saturated you are to beta-alanine. But I got it like in between a medium and a medium high level hit. And the beta-alanine sticks around for quite a while, 30 minutes or so before it kind of disappears. And it's not that high level. It kind of comes in and it stays in that high level for, I'd say, 5-10 minutes as it kind of dials away. But you feel it's a good source to beta-alanine there. Energy on this thing. We're going to start with energy. We'll get into the focus and the pumps as well. But energy, you kind of feel it coming in at about that 20-25 minute mark if you're real dialed in or if you're tired. But it's really noticeable about 30 minutes in. It comes in, and it also comes in with a nice little sense of well-being at the same time. So you're not euphorically enhanced like a stim junkie pre, but you actually notice that sense of well-being, a little bit of positivity coming in about that 30-35 minutes. Very, very nice. And it just builds up until, I think this thing peaks as far as energy-wise around 50 minutes. And it's a medium-high energy that's going to last you for, if you train like me, supersets and all that good stuff, you'll be able to pound off with short resting, an hour and a half. I'd say if you rest longer and you're more of a sets and reps guy and you rest 2-3 minutes in between sets, you could get probably a good 2 hours out of this thing as far as in that high level before it dials down. And this thing dials down as far as the physical type energy, and it's not crazy physical. There's no anxiousness. So when this thing comes in, no anxiousness whatsoever. It's a very smooth rise of energy. I didn't feel anything crazy anxious. I didn't even feel the possibility of heart increases, blood pressure increases, because some people get affected by synephrine, so you do have to be aware of that way. But I didn't feel anything bad on that. It was just very, very smooth for the hour and a half for me. Dials down. And the energy, actually, the physical type energy, doesn't stick around for no more than, I'd say, 3-4 hours from initially taking it. I'd say 3 hours. You kind of dial off of it real good. But, in that 30-minute mark, the 45-minute mark, the 50-minute mark, when the focus starts to build, then that's where you're going to get this long-lasting mental energy that is going to stick with you, depending on how this thing hits you, for 4 to 6 hours. This is a very, in my experience, a high nootropic type pre-workout. It really hits you, and it's not as much focus driven, but it's head driven. So even though you're dialed in mentally to everything, to your training and everything, it's not this like dialed in, focused on something. It's like your mind's working and you're constantly thinking about your next set. You're thinking about the movement. Very good mind-muscle connection type pre-workout. And then it sticks with you afterwards. When the physical energy dies down, you have that mental energy that just sticks with you for a while. So if you train in the morning and you go off to work, and you're the type of person where you have to dial in on something, sit at a desk, a computer, fantastic. You will have this nootropic high for a while that is going to be very, very nice. You're going to be dialed in and focused. To me, this is not a social pre-workout focus because it is upper level. So when you're training in that first hour and a half, 2 hours, it's so in your head that it's so easy to drop into a nootropic bubble. So you are just so concentrated and dialed in nootropically to what your task is at hand. So it's a very task-driven type nootropic hit. So if you don't like something that hangs on for a long period of time, then definitely this is not for you. I do like the way the physical energy dials off soon because it's just very, very smooth that way. I kind of personally would have liked the cognitive function for me not to last as long because it's hard for me to deal with customers sometimes when it's like so high. I'm still in my head trying to get out. Pumps on this thing, pumps are ridiculously tight. So if you're looking for something that's going to be the dry pumps, those nice tight pumps with some vascularity to it, this is definitely a pre-workout for you. This will make you sweat. So I sweated on this thing like I was taking 50 milligrams of GBB, and it hangs with you. When it comes in at about that 20 to 30 minute mark, you actually feel your body temperature rising a little bit. So it elevates, and it's just this nice little fat burning pre-workout. So you will sweat, you will mobilize fat for energy, you will have tons of energy for that hour and a half to 2 hours to just get shit done in your pre-workout. You will knock things out without an anxious, rambunctious feeling. You'll just be like dialed in to just boom, boom, boom. Very smooth, very high in energy, nothing crazy. Nice daily driver. I mean, it's extreme pre-workout. So I always suggest to people who are beginners, if you do try to jump into something like this, because they have other pre-workouts you can start with. But if you do try to jump into this, I'd start with 1 scoop and just test your tolerance. The L-theanine on this, I need to talk about the L-theanine. The L-theanine for me, because I'm somewhat sensitive, did not affect me at all during my training. Did not affect me until about 2 hours after. And for me, that alpha brainwave hit, when I come off of a L-theanine pre-workout, when the stims and I'm not getting a beta wave brain functions elevated as well, I'm already kind of a dialed down person, so it just hits me more. So it dials me down to where I'm just kind of so gelled. Some people like that. Some people don't. So you got to take that into consideration before buying this. But all in all, super well put together pre-workout. I enjoyed running it. Very, very nice. So thank you, Panda Supps, for sending this my way to review for my subscribers. If you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. I got to get on with my day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys next time.